Hi, this is Chris McNamara, Editor-in-Chief with Smart Industry. I'm here today with John Younes with Litmus Automation. John, how you doing?
Hey Chris, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Great, thanks for joining us here. Let's dive right into it. What is Litmus?
So Litmus is an intelligent edge platform company. We focus specifically in the industrial sector. Manufacturing is really our core vertical. And we really help companies accelerate their digital transformation journeys by helping provide a solid platform and base that they can really get started with at the edge. Everything to connect all of their legacy assets, process data locally at the edge, deploy and manage applications at the edge, and integrate that data to any of their cloud initiatives, big data initiatives, or just reusing that data for internal purposes, various enterprise systems, and doing it in a very easy configuration, user interface driven approach to help accelerate and get them started with their Industry 4.0 journeys.
Okay, and who are those customers? Who uses the Litmus Automation solutions?
So we work with about a dozen or so Fortune 500 manufacturing companies now across different sectors. So in automotive, we have OEMs that we work with, as well as some tier one suppliers like Saint-Gobain, who produces glass for automotive vehicles. We work as well with various food and beverage companies, one of the largest beer producers in the world, as well as bottling companies. We have some customers in oil and gas, as well as some electronics manufacturing. So it's pretty across the board, but generally we're working with various large-scale manufacturers in the Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000.
Okay. We talk a lot about intelligent edge computing these days, and that means a lot of different things to different people. Give me your take, or give me the Litmus Automation take. What makes edge computing intelligent in the modern era?
So there's a lot of, in this edge computing industry, I would say there's a lot of legacy systems that are essentially trying to be repurposed for edge computing.
Sure.
Where they're dealing with more, yes, they have connections to some of the legacy assets and they're a proxy to access data, but it's really meant for dealing with data at rest, which is stored in the factory. Whereas edge computing, you're dealing with data coming from these systems in real time and handling more data in motion and being able to process that data on the fly and then make it available to multiple consumers of data. So it's not just, it's getting away from more the one-to-one type of communication, which whether it's having your devices connected to a SCADA or historian, it's how you can actually reuse this data for your big data initiatives, for your IoT initiatives, for machine learning purposes, and then being able to have the end result of having those applications actually running at the edge itself that can actually take real-time decisions based on that data. So if you're running real-time machine learning models, how you can actually take decisions based on that, where you're pushing control back to the assets in an intelligent way. So actually taking real-time decisions to either stop machines or update variables to autocorrect situations. So that would be our definition of how we actually see edge computing as being more of an intelligent dynamic scenario that enables bidirectional control and multiple consumers, having multiple consumers of data that are accessing it at the same time.
And what are some of the latest changes in this space here? What's new in your world of edge computing in the larger IIoT, mindset?
So what was part of our vision and where companies are actually starting to move much more towards as well. A lot of companies have had some big data initiatives or machine learning initiatives now where they've invested in some cloud vendors, and they've been analyzing a lot of data over long periods of time. And now where it's moving is they've developed some specific machine learning models, and it's obviously not necessarily the best approach to deploy those in the cloud. So they're looking at a way to optimize those at the edge and take real-time decisions based on it. So moving to the next step, which is not only deploying those models at the edge where you don't have to deal with things like latency and can have more real-time data. Then the next step after that is actually enabling closed loop control. So taking real-time decisions based on that data whether it's driving actions back to your process or to your assets, or just sending out real-time alerts to local plant or maintenance people so they know better in real time what's going on with the machines. So getting into machine learning models deployed at the edge, and closed loop control, I'd say are the big next steps that companies are moving towards now.
Exciting. And that leads us into the last question here. Once we emerge from this challenging period that we're at, what most excites you about the near future of digital transformation? What's something that you're really eagerly looking forward to?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously during these times, it's been quite challenging for manufacturers. And I think that's only going to accelerate the digital transformation journey, just because a lot of the challenges that they're faced with now, if they had a proper digital transformation strategy and they're executing on what Industry 4.0 truly means, or lights out manufacturing, they could have actually still been running at full speed and being as efficient as they possibly could.
Sure.
Or to a certain extent, at least they would have avoided a lot of the problems, whether it's having remote access to machines, remote access to data, having more automated systems that are running within factories, less human intervention. I think is only going to bring those ideas to the forefront now, where this is really important, not only in crisis modes like this, but in the future where it may be more tougher economic times. I think looking at how they can actually cut costs in a more efficient way, or just become more efficient in general, that's going to be a bigger driver for Industry 4.0 and digital transformation. So yes, it's obviously not a great time, but I think it's really brought a lot of these ideas and notions to the forefront, where now it's more important than ever that we accelerate the digital transformation journey and enter this Industry 4.0 revolution here.
Excellent. Interesting. John, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for having me.
And to the viewers, we thank you for joining us. And as always, we invite you to go out and make it a smart day.